Hi, I'm Erin. Welcome to an episode of Kitchener-Waterloo Oktoberfest Family Video Series. I want to say a thank you to our partners, including Pillars Fine Foods, TD Bank, RTO4 Tourism Innovation, and the Government of Ontario. And thank you to the Schwaben Club for allowing us to use their space. Today we're going to be going through a super fun family craft. He's right here. He's our favorite uncle, Onkel Hans. We're going to be making a little paper puppet Onkel Hans. Now don't forget you can download the instructions in the supply list off of oktoberfest.ca, but I'm going to quickly run you through everything you need and then we'll get started to assemble our Onkel Hans. So today you're going to need construction paper in orange, black, red, and some plain white paper. You'll want to get some black felt and some green felt. A small dessert plate, ours is about 6 inches in diameter. A popsicle stick or a skewer stick to make your puppet. Some googly eyes. A red pom-pom for his nose. A yellow feather or another feather color that you really like for Onkel Hans's hat. 2 buttons, and then of course you're going to need your glue stick, and I have a glue gun today. Don't forget to ask an adult for help, or you can use white glue. You'll want a pair of scissors and a ruler handy, and then some markers are optional, and a pen. So that's about all we will need to do our craft. So to start, you're going to want to cut out all of the individual pieces from Onkel Hans. So the first thing you're going to do is take your orange construction paper, and this is a really easy trick. You take your pie plate, and you're going to use it to trace out a circle that's eventually going to go on the top of your plate. So you have your circle cut, and then you want to cut a little orange triangle, which is going to act as his neck. Out of the red construction paper, you can cut out a little hat shape. I just freehanded mine so you can get creative. Taking the black construction paper, you'll want to measure your hat shape and create a little band out of the black construction paper. And of course, cut out a little mouth for Onkel Hans. From the white paper, just a nice rectangle, which is going to be part of his t-shirt. 2 little triangles to be his collar. And a big oval circle, which will go on his hat. And then the last thing you want to cut out is your felt. From the green felt, you're going to cut 2 identical rectangles and one that's just a little bit shorter because that's going to make his Lederhosen straps. From the black felt, 2 little eyebrows. You can make them as big or as little as you want. And the most important part is to cut out his mustache. Now, you can use something from off the internet like I did, or you can freehand his mustache. But that's his most defining feature, I think, so don't forget about the mustache. Once you have all of those prepared, we can start to assemble Onkel Hans. So, starting with his head, you want to take his little neck piece and your glue stick, and you're going to glue this triangle to the back of his head. So it looks like this. Next, you're going to take the white rectangle, which will be his t-shirt, and do the same thing. So put a little bit of glue just on the tip of your triangle. And you might need to use your glue gun for this, or your white glue. We'll see if mine holds up. So now it's going to look like this. Let's move on to his Lederhosen. We want to put down the Lederhosen first, and then we'll put the collar on. So you're going to take your 3 strips of green felt and take your 2 longer ones and place them and then hot glue them on, or white glue. So again, if you're using a glue gun and you need some assistance, just ask an adult and be careful. There's 1. And 2. And now we want to come across his chest with the third one. There we go. So we are starting to look like some Lederhosen now. Take your two little buttons, they can be any color, and you're going to put them right on the bottom. And then your little collar pieces, we can glue those right at the top. So I come along the neck and along the Lederhosen strap. And there we go. There's one. And number two. So we've got his Lederhosen started there. Now this is the fun part. We're going to put Uncle Hans's face on. He'll start to look a little bit more like Uncle Hans. So if you want to grab your googly eyes, or if you don't have googly eyes or any of the face parts, this is where you can take your markers and you can draw his face on. So let's place his googly eyes, his little eyes. Googly eyes are always fun. All right, and then next, we can do his mouth. Use my glue stick for this one because it's the construction paper. Then you're going to take his mustache and put it right over top of his mouth. And again, you can always draw this on, or you can cut it out of the construction paper instead of the felt. It is completely what you have at home. And then the second last thing is his little nose. So that's what we look like now. But what are we missing? I think we're missing some eyebrows. Uncle Hans would not be himself without his eyebrows. Just glue those on or draw them on. Oh, my feather's getting stuck. There's Uncle Hans. But what about his hat? Let's do his hat next. We can put him aside to dry, and we'll take our hat shape and glue our black band on top. Just like a ribbon on the hat. Perfect. So next piece of the hat is to take your little white oval and on the front, write the word Prosit, which means to cheers. That's what Uncle Hans's hat has on it. So a big Prost. And we will glue that right in the middle of the black band. And the final piece is to add your feather, either side. There we go. So while that dries, take your Uncle Hans body and head back, and now we're going to look at the back of it. We're going to flip him around. And this is where you might need the glue gun for if you have not been using it. You want to take your paper plate, and you're going to glue around the outside of the plate. You're going to very carefully flip it and stick it onto the back of his head, because that way we will have something to stick the popsicle stick for the puppet to. So then he'll look like this with the plate on the back of his head. Take your popsicle stick, or if you have a skewer or something longer, or even a pencil that you're not using anymore, you can take that and glue that right to the back of the plate. There we go. So that way you can use it to hold him up. We will flip him over one more time. Now that the hat is dry and the feather's on there, we're going to take his hat and we're going to glue it onto the top of his head. And there we go. your very own Oktoberfest Onkel Hans paper puppet. And you can make multiple of these. You can do the chicken dance with him. Maybe you'll eat a pretzel. Maybe you'll put on a puppet polka show. But a super fun and easy Oktoberfest themed craft. And our favorite uncle, Onkel Hans. Thanks for watching. I want to say thank you again to our partners, Pillars Fine Foods, TD Bank, RTO4 Tourism Innovation, and the Government of Ontario. And thanks again to the Schwaben Club for allowing us to host our videos here. Thanks for watching.